for black men that did not marry black women. They talked about that for a very, very long time. I would give you my opinions on that, but that's for a different show. Thereafter, he was called to do an interview on Roland Martin's show on TV One. And Roland Martin asked him some pretty piercing questions. Apparently right now his education and his status as an educator and a PhD and such is in question. I don't even, I take people at their word, so I'm not one to go looking to see if my man is a fraud or not. But he sat in front of Roland Martin initially, and then Roland Martin had a panel on. There were 3 people that sat on this panel. I do not remember either of their names. I distinctly remember 2 of the individuals, a black man and a black woman, whom both seemed not to have very much positive to offer to the situation. They seemed very biased and very disrespectful towards Miss Dr. Umar Johnson. And so later after the interview, it was a very heated interview. It was a very heated sitting with the panel. Roland Martin gets on Instagram the next day and he posts a picture that says he was making one of those nigga, what is you talking about faces, like, you know what I'm saying? And he posted a picture doing that, and the comment below it said that no racial epitaphs will be used on my show from one black person to another. I immediately commented on it by saying, that is a respectable request, my brother. But the panel that you sat in front of Dr. Umar Johnson could have been better and less biased. I was very, very disappointed with I was very disappointed with Roland Martin. Honestly, I mean, I took the side of Dr. Umar Johnson. And this is coming from a person, man, I follow Roland Martin. I have followed Roland Martin. Roland Martin's been he's been kind of a hero for me over the last, few years. His surgence into the forefront of the political analysis game as a black man and as a brother, not just a black man though. It's a difference. He's a brother. You know what I'm saying? He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. You know what I mean? He's a black dude. You know what I mean? He's a brother. He one of us is what I felt like. And for him to sit a panel in front of Dr. Umar Johnson that was completely biased and completely disrespectful, it seemed like it was a scam. It seemed like it was done on purpose in a sense, and I was very disappointed in Roland Martin in that situation. If you guys haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check it out. I encourage you to go check out both interviews, the interview with Dr. Umar Johnson in the Breakfast Club and the interview with Roland Martin and Dr. Umar Johnson and the panel. I encourage you all to go check that out so you can get an understanding for what I'm talking about. But it's very disappointing that Roland Martin did that. But hey, look, shit happens, and I guess, we're going to have to move on. But hey, Roland Martin, Mike Vick, Black America is always watching. So y'all got to get y'all shit together, man. Now I want to move on and ask a question to all of my black male listeners. By show of hands, how many of us have a friend or a cousin or brother or acquaintance or friend from work or anything of the sort who doesn't or isn't an active part of his child or children's lives? My hand's up. I got my hand up. Do you have your hand up? If you have your hand up, we need to band together and we need to stop this. So, first of all, every black man isn't a good black man. That's the absolute truth. Some would argue that there's a vast majority of us that aren't good black men. We'll let them have that argument, okay? That's not what we're here to argue today. Today, we're here to say, the 2020 Vision podcast is here to say, rather, that instead of us ignoring that, instead of us letting that slide, we should be bringing that to light. But, we sweep that shit under the rug. By show of hands, black men and black women, how many of us know of a situation in our families where a child was molested? Or, a little girl or a little boy was molested by his or her cousin or aunt or uncle or mother or father or a friend of the family, anything like that. How many of us know of a situation like that? How many of us have done something about it? We're responsible for that. We're responsible for that situation. And now I bring up men because the man is supposed to be the protector. We're supposed to, especially for girls, for women, we're supposed to be the protector. And for children, we're supposed to be the protectors. And if I'm here and I don't say anything about this, I'm just as wrong as the people who do it, in my opinion. I'm no better than them. Allowing something to happen and doing something is relatively the same thing. So, from this day forth, from now on, let's start calling these situations to light, man. Let's hold these unfit fucking fathers accountable. Let's hold these fucking child molesters accountable. Let's hold these fucking women, not women, I'm sorry, but these women abusers, these abusive ass men, let's hold them accountable for that shit. It's no good. It's no good at all. The relationship between the black man and the black woman is the fundamental reason why we are where we are today. And in my opinion, where we are is nowhere. And if we could somehow change that relationship, if we could somehow improve on that relationship, just by doing what we're supposed to do and holding one another accountable as men, the relationship would be all that much better. No question about it, no doubt about it in my mind. So let's start holding each other accountable. If you got a homie that makes excuses for taking care of his kids, tell him about himself. Tell him about himself to the point where if y'all can't be friends no more, then y'all just can't be friends no more. That's happened to me before. I had a situation where a friend of mine referred to. I'll tell you the story. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, we wanted to go out. We wanted to go out one weekend, and he had mentioned to me that he had to babysit. And I'm like, when I hear babysit, I'm a nigga without kids. So when I hear babysit, I automatically think of, okay, nigga got to fill in for somebody's parents. You know what I'm saying? That's what babysitting is. Babysitting is what I do with no kids. If my nieces or my nephews come over, that's me babysitting because I'm not the parent. If you the parent, my nigga, you just being a parent. That's not babysitting. Any man that will refer to, spending time with his kids as babysitting is no man to me. And when I found out that he was talking about his kids, I was offended. We got into an argument about this shit. And I'm like, my nigga, you mad at me and you said you was babysitting your kids. I didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at me, nigga. Like, you the one fucked up that situation. I didn't do it. So, we had that situation. We kind of fell off after that. And that was that. And, you know what I'm saying? For me, I come from a family where, obviously, you know what I'm saying? My parents have been married for 49 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about my father, you know what I'm saying, to people a lot. My father is like, you know what I'm saying, is my hero. I come from a family where, you know what I'm saying, my pop gets off work. It didn't matter if he was going to kick it with his friends, whatever he was about to go do, he didn't wait for my mom to say, Charles, I've been with the kids all day. I was off work today, but I was with the kids all day. And, I just want a break. Can you take them? My dad didn't wait for that shit. He come in the crib, do his thing for a second. Hey, Brenda, the boy's going with me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to retract real quick and say, not retract, but I want to back up real quick and say, that I don't mention my older sister and my older brother simply because they were so much older than me and my younger brother. Like, my younger brother is who I grew up with. So that's who was there with me in my childhood. My sister and my brother were adults by the time, me and my brother were basically in, elementary school. So that's why I mentioned that. I don't want to take away from my older sister and my older brother. I do have, 2 brothers and 1 sister. But I mentioned that my father took myself and my younger brother a lot because he and I are only a year apart. So that's who I have. I have that memory to go off of. So I want to make sure I don't want to not identify my other siblings. You know what I'm saying? I want to show love to them too because I love Colette and I love Mitchell with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure I put that out there. But that's the perspective that I speak from. Is that my dad was. He wasn't an absentee father. And it's more to being a father than just being married to the woman who bears your children. You know what I'm saying? And I think, that's what my dad gave me. You know what I mean? And even married men, man, you got to be involved with your kids, bro. You got to be involved with your kids at every capacity, at every turn. And, I know I've heard of a lot of situations where, a lady will say, I thought, my husband was the perfect guy. I would have never thought that when we got divorced, he would just fall off the face of the earth. Niggas is actually getting divorces and falling off the face of the fucking earth on their kids. Bro, like, we really gotta stop this. Like, we leaving all our kids to the wayside. Like, the children are our future. Damn, you know what I'm saying? How cliche that sounds. But they really are. And what we put into them, what we instill in them, what we give them is what they will have in the future. And if we don't give them anything, if we don't teach them anything, if they don't learn anything from us, if all they see is love and hip hop, you know what I'm saying, basketball wise, yes, I'm bringing that shit up right now. If all they see from us is Ratchet TV, Shade Room, Instagram, Facebook, you know what I'm saying, Snapchat, if that's all they see from us, man, the future ain't so bright for us or them. And it's our responsibility. So I guess I'm speaking on accountability on all levels then. Not just black men, but black women as well. All of us as adults, we're responsible for holding each other accountable. But when it comes down to these fuck ass daddies, no good daddies, like, we need to start handling up on that, fellas. Like, we really do. We really do. I hate seeing Father's Day when, you know what I'm saying, mothers are getting wished happy Father's Day. I hate seeing that. And I will admit that, I am not a biological father, but my sister, my older sister, and her daughter, which is my niece Jasmine, they give me Father's Day gifts. They wish me happy Father's Day and they give me Father's Day gifts. And that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate the fact that they do that. But at the same time, I wish that they didn't have to. And if the grown-ass man that laid down with my sister, for my sister to give birth to my niece, if he had done what he was supposed to do, and if he was doing what he was supposed to do, we wouldn't even be talking about that. I would never get a happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what that's like. And I always say, like, it's some lessons that you shouldn't have to learn. It's some things that you shouldn't have to know. That's something that I shouldn't have to know, getting a happy Father's Day as an uncle. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to know that. You know what I'm saying? But I do. It's the world we live in. But we can improve that world by doing what I'm saying right now, by holding each other accountable. It is imperative that we do so. We must. But look, I'm going to shut the operation down right there. I went about 10 minutes over what I wanted to do. But obviously I had a little bit to say. I hope it was where everybody could understand it. I had a lot of thoughts in my head. I still have a lot of thoughts in my head. But hey, it's cool. I'm glad everybody listened. I'm glad you got the chance to tune in. This has been the 2020 Vision Podcast. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Ugly Reggie. I looked on Facebook. Reggie is actually recording right now. He's recording his 3rd episode right now. He also has an Ugly Reggie blog. Go check